All right, so good evening once again, everyone. I want to welcome every one of us to this second day of this training, how to build websites without programming, without writing code. So this evening session is actually dedicated for installation and part of the hosting, which we could not completed the other time. Somebody is raising up hand. It's Bella Edidi. You want to say anything?
Yes, sir. So during the installation and during the payment of the site, when I pay, it's not displaying. It's only showing me paid, but it's not showing me like the way you want to show service. Like
Like,
I post when
just
you
just make sure you follow. I don't want to start by attending to this kind of question because you are supposed to wait to the end of this section before you start placing your payments. But I believe you wanted to finish before us, so just relax. As we are going, if there's anything you did wrong, you find out. And then I'm going to be allowing us to share our screen. So when I get to the question and answer section, I will give you room to share your screen. Make sure you are joining with your laptop so that we can then resolve it. It will be resolved. All right, so I believe we are all here now, so I can start. Can we start? I just need response from 2 to 3 people. If I can start. You can use the message box if you want to reply. Can we start now? Are we ready? Okay, so Cynthia said we should continue. All right, thank you very much. So we are starting with, I will just run through, I will just give us some background about hosting, which is part of what we were actually trying to do the other time. And then we now shift my focus to the main reason for this section. So I just wanted everybody to have their theme and template installed before tomorrow's session, because tomorrow's session will be going into the main design. So everyone, once I design, you'll be designing from your end. That is the reason why I said, let's look at the installation today so that tomorrow we will not be distracted. But briefly, let me talk about hosting, because I understand that there are some people that are joining for the very first time, though I have given them the video of the last class, which I expected them to have gone through to get some hints concerning what we did last time. But nevertheless, let me just spend the next 15 minutes on what we call website hosting. Now, the word websites mean collection of files and folders stored in a server that people can access from wherever they are, so long they have access to the internet. That is why it is called the 3Ws. That is World Wide Web, which means resources that are available to everyone irrespective of their location, provided they have the address, which is called the URL. All right, so that is the definition of website. Now, when we say web hosting, we are talking about making such resources public for everyone to see. I told them that we have two methods of installing WordPress. We have the local server where you have to download your server locally and install it in your operating system. And then we also have the automatic installation using an installer software, which is already embedded in the hosting package, which we are going to see tonight. I choose to start with this method because we all pay for the hosting one way or the other, and it is the recommended option so that at the end of your design, you don't have to bother yourself about uploading. For some of us that are learning the programming method of building websites, which is considered to be one of the time-consuming method, we take our time to build our website locally on our computer. Then after that, we will not take another time to upload it in the purchase server. But for WordPress, once you adopt the automatic installation method, you don't need to design locally and later upload. And that is the reason why I choose this method. By tomorrow, everything we are going to be designing from your end, from your phone, you'll be checking it to be live. So as you are designing, your client can be seeing what you are doing instantly. That is one of the benefits of this method of installation, which we started with. So quickly, I want to switch to my browser and quickly show us where to start from. For you to be able to use WordPress for the automatic installation, you are expected to have purchased a domain. A domain is a uniform resource locator. A domain name is an address that connects people to your resources on the internet. A uniform address. Know that the address I will use to connect to your resources will be different from an address Mr. B will use. We must all use the same address. So that is the first thing you buy. Now, you cannot just buy domain and be able to have your resources on the internet. So after buying the URL, each time I use the word domain name, I am talking about buying an address that can take users to your content on the internet through the browser. So the browser in this case is the vehicle, just like the one I've opened on the screen, is the vehicle that takes user through that URL, which we call the website address, to your content on the internet. Now, the question is, once the user type www, just like you have here now, this platform that I'm training us from is a platform that was put together by some experts, and I am one of them, and I'm also their consulting instructor. This is their website address. Now, what they do majorly is to organize online training which their costs or courses happen to be very affordable. Now, like I was saying, you can see what I type on the browser address location bar. So that very place where we have www.digitexz.com.ng, it is called a browser address location bar. That is where you are expected to type your website address. Now, what I am saying is that this particular name that you are seeing here was purchased some time ago. So you cannot just type www. let's say vera.com. It will go nowhere. Now, for us to type that name, and when we hit our enter, by the time, now what is happening is that we are sending a request to a remote server. And then the address, or through the address, we are able to contact the server. And the server responded to us by displaying this content you are seeing on the screen. Now, where I am driving to is for us to know that it's not just buying the URL, which is that digitexz.com.ng. If that is only what they did, as we type it, this information we have on the screen wouldn't have displayed. So for us to access this information, it means that they also purchase a space. It's just like looking for a perfect scenario to explain this. They also purchase a storage on the internet where they actually store their content. So what happened when you type your URL on or in the address location bar, the browser contacts that server, which is the hosting company, which we are going to learn in a moment. And then the browser will contact them through that address that a user is asking for content that was stored in your server. So they will now reciprocate by checking whether this address is assigned to a storage. Now, what happened actually is that this address is used to save a folder in their server. So this address you are seeing is the name of a folder. It's just like this, PS project. So in their remote server, they have different, when you host, they will create a folder and place all your content there. When another person hosts, they will also give the person another folder and keep the person content there. So that is what happened. So once the user type on the URL, they will contact your folder. And then once they get to your folder, then if they can find content, they will now reply the user with the content. So what I have explained so far is to give us an idea of what hosting is all about. So hosting is summary before we go into the practical aspect. Hosting in summary is simply buying the URL and the space where your content will be stored in a remote server. So tonight, I want to start with that aspect. Now, to host your website, you need to have an idea of the address. How do you want the address to be structured? So if you are doing it for a customer or a client, you need to have verified from the person, how will you like your address to be? So once the person have given you the address structure, so you open a browser and then type. Now you need to first of all choose a hosting company. There are different companies that are that offer hosting services that helps us as developer to put our website on the internet. So you are a designer or you are a developer. It is not your responsibility to create the space where the website is going to reside on the internet. It is the responsibility of the hosting company. That is their expertise. They hire programmer who can design or develop server just for keeping your website content. So you have to contact one of them once you want to put your website on the internet. Now, I told them in that video that we recorded from our last class that there are different hosting companies. So you have to choose wisely. Make sure you do your diligent research on anyone you are choosing so that you will not be defrauded. Now, I recommended two different hosting companies. You can choose www.bluehosts. So bluehost.com. Bluehost.com. So it's a hosting company. So if we run it, it's going to take us to their website. So it's trying to verify whether you are a human before we can access the content. Just give me a second. All right, so like I was saying, you can see this is their homepage. You can buy a domain name for as low as 1.99 US dollar per year. What it means is that you are going to bear the address for 1 year for just approximately $2. So, and they are assuring you that 30 days money back guarantee, just to tell you that they can be trusted. I told them in that class that this is the best hosting company in the world at the moment. But the issue I have with them is that they are very expensive. They are very expensive. Apart from being, they are expensive because their services are top notch. We must give it to them. You don't have server down. You don't have issues often like some of the domain out there. But in case you are having issue, you might not be able to get quick response because they are not Africa-based hosting company. And that is why I recommended the one of the best Africa-based or Nigeria-based hosting company, which I have tested over time, and they are also prompt when it comes to responding to your technical challenges. They are called Google Hosts. So you type www.who Go host. So the idea is that before you host your website, you must contact one of these hosting company. Then from any of them, you will now be able to create a client account. That account is where you will be hosting all your websites, like we are going to see tonight. So once I click on it, then it takes us to their landing page. Now, like I told them in the last class, the company was initially called Google Hosts, but it has been purchased over by Go54. So, but they also purchased or inherited the liability and the asset. So all you need to do is to close this section and then come to where you have my account. So make sure you are taking note of this. because after some time, I will ask us one after the other to share your screen, and then together we will create your account. And for those that can follow us, that can follow me the way I'm doing it, you can as well do it yourself. So once I am done with this training, I will now allow us to be doing it on our own. Then I will give room for question and answer where you are having issue. I will ask you to share your screen, and then I will assist you. So for you to start with this particular company, always grab their contact email address. So in case you are having technical issue, you can easily contact them. Now you click on my account. So once you click on my account, it will take you to this interface. So from this interface, if you have an account with them, you log in. If you don't have an account with them, you click on register now, like we are going to do. So for those that have not created an account with them, you simply click on register now. So once you click on register now, a form will be prompted for you to fill. So just make sure that you are taking note of this step. And then, please, we need to understand, just a minute. Now, we need to understand that different hosting company might give you different form to fill, but the same way, their processes are almost the same. Like that's our Bluehost that we visited before. What they do is that they will first of all quote what you want to buy for you. I mean, telling you how much it's going to cost you to be able to buy a domain from them first. So in other words, their priority, their marketing strategy is for you to have idea of what you want to buy before they prompt you this form to fill. Now, for Google Host or Go54, their own is to collect your details first before they show you the plans. So it's either they start with A and end with B, but definitely all the processes are the same. Now here, I can just fill this form. Let's say I'm just registering an account with them. I already have an account, but we just walk us through how what you are expected to supply, and then we will just proceed to my own account. So you can take care of that by yourself. So you enter your name, and then you enter your last name here. You enter your working email address. Please, when you are doing this, it shouldn't be the client's email address. I told them in the last class, it should be your own address as the website developer. Because the email address you are given here is the email address that will be used to configure your server. So which means that anytime there is any update, they are going to be mailing you through this email. So you have to make sure that it is a working email address. Then you specify your phone number. Now, the phone number you are also given should be an active phone number, not the customer information. Everything here should be about your information, because once the website is about to expire, when it's time to renew it, they are going to be sending you messages. Once they mail you and they discover that you did not reply their mail for like 2 days, they will now send that same message to you through the mobile number. So that is why you have to ensure that the information you are providing here, they are authentic. Now, you proceed to your password section. The password you are entering here, you must write it down or store it. Make sure it is a password you don't forget. This password is what you will use to access your dashboard, like I'm going to do after explaining this. I am going to enter my dashboard, and then from there, I will be able to have an idea of my websites, the number of websites I've hosted, the ones that are running, the ones that have expired, the ones that will be due for renewal. So all this information will be analyzed in your client's dashboard. And it is from that same client dashboard that we are going to place order that we want to buy a domain. So you cannot place order as far this company is concerned until you have an account. And to have an account is the reason why you have to fill this form. So make sure that you keep the password safe. And then the currency you would like to use for your payment. If you are going to pay with Naira card, then you select it. If it is US United States dollar, or these are other payments currency that are available. So once you have done that, you click on sign up. So while you are entering the password, in case you want to see it, so that you know what exactly you are typing, you can just click here for you to view and to what to hide your password. But always make sure you hide it before you click on sign up, so that hackers will not easily penetrate to your website. So once you have filled this information, you click on what? Sign up. So once you click on sign up, that will be the end. So you can try that on your own. So I want to quickly log into my dashboard, the account I've created like this, and then we proceed from there. Any question before I proceed? Any question? Do we have any question? From all that I've explained, I believe is clear to everyone. All right. So let me assume everything is okay. Now, I want to quickly log into my account so that we can host from there. So I'll go to what? My account. I have already saved my login detail. Like I told us that if you have not created an account, you click on register now. But if you have an account with them, you fill your email address and the password, and then you log in. Now, there is what we call cookies in the website. Cookies is just like a pieces of software that is built on browser or on the website that helps us to track, to save our login detail on the browser, so that when next you want to log in, you don't have to write them. That is what I have done here. So the browser have already saved my information. So all I need to do is to click on login. So once I click on login, now it's taking me to my client dashboard under the hosting company I use. So immediately you can see from here that you can see the number of websites that are active. So, and I want to switch to their old page. That is the environment they were using before this Go 54 purchase it over. I find that environment easier for me to navigate. So I will just switch to the old environment. You may not have this if you are working with other hosting company, except if a new company have also bought it over before they can give you two different interface to work with. So right now it's taking me to the old interface before it was purchased by Go 54. So let's hold on for it to log us to that particular interface. All right, so we are here. So this is the old interface. So I've also saved my login detail in the browser cookies. So I will just click on login. All right, so so this is the old dashboard interface. So you can see the reason why I prefer this. You can see the way it analyzes my dashboard. So this is updating me that I have 4 different domain, that is URL www dot a particular location and dot the extension running. I have 3 services. Now, which means that out of the 4, one of them, the domain, the one of them does not have storage, but all of them have the URL. That is why we are having 4 here and we are having 3 here. So now the next thing I want to do is to host. So I want to buy another URL and the storage. So who are we going to host for now? Who can we host for here? Let me see. Okay, so let me just host. Iberi, are you here? Iberi, are you here? Joseph, are you here?
My network is very, very slow. It's very, very slow.
Okay, so will you like to host for your business? Okay, what will happen is that let me just host one for this class, and then others can follow the same process and host on their own. Okay, somebody wants to say something. Who is young investor? Want to say something? Okay, so let me just host one. But I already have a hosting name. I don't want us to waste that money. So, but let me just host one for everybody. From there, I will give some of us an account to work with. Now, for you to host, you can see this section under shortcuts. We have order new service. You have register a new domain. So you click on this. Remember that we are doing all this from the account. We are doing all this from the account. So if you have not created an account, that is why I showed us how to create an account and how to log in into the account before from here. Even if you attempt from here, try to go straight to host here. If you claim you are smart, you from here now try to host. They will redirect you to go and open an account with them. So the proper way is to create an account, and then inside that account, just like we are right now, you locate this, you click on it. So once you click on this, it's going to take us to an interface where we can search for the name, whether that name is available or whether someone have already used it. It's just like when you want to register your business name with CAC. If you give them a name that has been used, they will revert back to you that that name cannot be used. So this is where you can search for the name that is available. So whatever name your client gives to you, you type it here. And if it's going to end with .com, watch that video. I took my time to explain the difference between when it ends with .com, .ng, .org, and the rest of them. Now, let's assume that we want to register a domain name called Digitechie, and I want it to end with .com. I want it to end with .com. So I will search here. I will search here. Once no one have used it, it's going to tell me what that is available. So you can see that what Digitechie is available. It's available. Now, since it's available at the rate of 24,000 naira. Just because it's ending with .com, which means commercial website. So what they have done here now is that, oh, you want to do business. Okay, so those that are doing business are ranked first, higher than those that just want to use the website for other purpose like churches and NGO. So now, just to reduce this cost, I will just add .ng. Now, .ng means what? Nigeria. Now, it now depends on the value they place on ng. So once I research now, if it's available, you will see that the price will reduce. You can see that if I am to use digitechie.com.ng, it's going to cost me from, just because I added the ng, the price drastically reduced from 24,000 to what? 7,200. So which means that you will bear this name for 1 year for this amount. That's what it is. So after a cycle of 1 year, you have to renew it. And to renew it, they will notify you in your dashboard, this account you create. So from there, they will not send you an invoice. Then you click on the invoice, then you pay again. So 7,200 just to bear the name. Now, remember I told us when I started that there are two things you are paying for. You are paying for the address just to bear this for 1 year. You are going to pay this. Now, for you to have a storage where all your contents or the URL will direct the user to fetch your content from, you are going to pay approximately 3,000 per month or 2,500 per month. So all this information, you need to be aware of this so that you know how to charge your clients. You are expected to charge them to pay separately for the hosting from your workmanship for the design. Don't join them together, except you have done your calculation. Now, if I want to proceed, now it might be because it carry what? Tech. That is the reason why it's up to this. But let's proceed. So you add it to cart. You add to cart. Once you accept the amount, you click on what? Add to cart. So now you are proceeding to purchasing. That is what it means. And then once this place shows added, you go down and select what? Continue. Select continue, but always try to scroll down if there is any other information. So you can see that here they have notified us that what? We have just one domain selected. Make sure that you are having this information here. Then you click on continue. So once I select continue, so from this account, I will now create account for every other person. So let's see how we can register this account. Okay, now this is the outcome of your order. And what is saying under your domain configuration, you have a domain selected, but there is no hosting. In other words, there is no space. You have not purchased file space. And for you to add the file space to the URL, so that each time they type this on their browser, it will lead them to the file.
you have to click here. So if you proceed by clicking on continue here, it means you only purchase an address that is taking them to no contents. So don't make that mistake. Once it brings you to this place and you are seeing no hosting, click on it. So once you click on it, it will not take you to their hosting plan with different space sizes. Then once you choose, they will not quote the cost of it to the initial 7,200. That is what will now amount to the total money you are paying. So we are going there right now. So it's going to take us to where good. So these are their plans. It's just like when you want to buy data. You have 2 gig, you have 1 gig, and then there are advantages that are attached to each of them. So if you want to buy Premium for 8 gig, it means that everything about your website content must not exceed 8 gig. So for example, if the folder where I have locally stored all my website resources is higher than 8 gig, then I should go for 15 gig. So you can see that this package is ideal for standard sites with low traffic. What is traffic? How many people will access your content on the internet at the same time? For example, now Jumia website, you will notice that at the same time, you can have 100 people buying products on their site from Lagos. That same time, another 100 people can be using the same website from Anambra. That same time, another 20 can be engaging the website from data. And yet the server, the website will not be slow, neither go down. That means that website have a very high traffic. So if you are looking for a high traffic website outside the content, then you shouldn't go for the 8 gig, which is the least. But because of the training, we are going to use 8 gig, except we want to spend more. Now, if you are going for this package, per month, you are going to pay 2,500 just to secure a storage in this company's server that will always make your content available to user that will type www.digitechie.com.ng. So I will click on this. There are other plans that you can have there and the advantages attached to each of them. So I will click on order now. So what is going to happen is that it's going to take this 2,005 and add it to 7,200, and that will give us a total cost. So which means that we have ended up buying 2 things, the address and the storage, where the address will take the users to. Fine. Now you can see that the moment we are accepted or we choose a plan, then it redirected us to this place. What is it saying here? Use a domain already in my shopping cart, which is this. That is, you want to continue with this domain because each time you are buying a storage, the storage must be attached to an address, which was the first one, that's 7,200. So you cannot jump to the one of 2,500 when you have not purchased the address. So what it's saying is that this particular space that you are buying, which domain address is it going to be attached to? So we are choosing this option that says use a domain already in my shopping cart. So I will just click on use. So once I click on use, then it will now officially give me the quotation of what I have purchased so far. So let's wait for the quotation to be ready. All right, so we have it here now. We have it here. So as you can see, good. As you can see this is a quotation of what we have ordered so far. Now, here, choose billing cycle. There's another thing you need to do here. Let's assume that I want to buy for a year. I will choose this. So the moment you choose any of these options, this configuration will change. You can see that what is loading now. So what was quoted initially was for 1 month. Now, since you are choosing 1 year, it means that they've added VAT. In a year, you are going to pay 26,875 zero kobo, just for you to have your content stored in their server. The 7,005 is not added yet. So if you want to do it quarterly, you click here. If you want to do it for semi-quarter, so you have this option. So we are going with this because this training is not expected to exceed 1 month. Because if you add this last week, because this training is supposed to last for 6 Saturdays. So, but peradventure we exceed it. What I will do is that I will not pay this again to extend it for additional 1 month. Now, let's go with this. So the moment I click here, so I will go down, go down, go down. These are some other information that in case you want to add them to your purchase. But each of them, they have already highlighted their price. There are some security integration that will secure your website from hacker. If you want them to incoming mail scanning, maybe whenever any message is coming, because we are going to learn how to work with webmail. Whenever any mail is coming to your website, they have to be scanning it for virus because virus usually follow what? Email contents. So if you want them, you tick it. Once you tick it, it means that it will cost you 6,000 for 1 month. So if you don't want it, you move on. If you want them to defend, to protect your website, side lock, which is that key, that padlock, you want the security feature, it will cost you 40,000 for 1 year. So why I am showing us all this, so that you don't go and tell clients at the end of the day that, Shebi, Mr. Prosper hosted a website, 7,200 plus 2,600 or 600 and some naira. Let's say everything approximately 10,000. So you now go and tell someone that you can host a website for 10,000. And after you have told the person ordered, the person will now begin to tell you that I want you to have site lock. I want you to have this. Then for you to go back will now be a challenge. That is why you need to find out. You need to tell the user all this, that if it's not ready, you put them on none, just like I selected none for all these options. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to go to, so I'll go through everything and then click on make sure that there is nothing else that is required from you, and then you click on continue. So once you click on continue, it will now link this quotation to the initial one and give you the what? The summary. So let's click now. All right, so now this is the next interface. For those of us that are having issue, those that went ahead to start, hosting before this class, I want to believe that you are noticing your error. Now you can see that this is the 2005, the option we picked there, and this other information, they are given to you as bonus. That is why they are all reading 00. So you click on continue. So from continue now, it will now take us to the final quotation of what we are actually buying. So let me see if anything is rolling here. Okay, so it's rolling. So let's hold on for it. So I hope we are all following these steps. It's a very simple step that once you sit down with the video, in case you are not able to get it as I'm doing it,
you can always follow.
All right, so finally we are here. So you can see the quotation of the two order. This is the 5 space, which is per month. In case you want to change it here, you can as well change it here. This is the domain, the address purchase. So you must see the two of them like this before, and then this is the final quotation. So everything we are going to pay right now is 10,942.68. So once you agree with that, you click on I have read and agree to the terms and services. If you want to see those terms and services, you click on that. But let me just check here and click on what? Checkout. So the moment you click on checkout, it's going to prompt you your payment gateway. Which method do you want to use for your payment? So we have Paystack, which is the African payment gateway when it comes to online shopping. So I'm going to choose that option. So this is one of the difference. If you are using that Bluehost, Paystack may not be available. You might see Shockwave, maybe a Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrency account for those of us that have those accounts, but you have to look for one of the payment method. So let's wait for it to open. All right, so as you can see here, so if I go back to my dashboard, let's assume that I don't want to pay at the moment. Let's say you do your own and you get to this very place and you are not ready to pay yet. The invoice is already added to your dashboard. So if I go to my account now, I will see the invoice and then I will just click and then it will redirect me back to what? To this payment interface. So you can also download the receipts and pay manually, then send them what? The receipts, the hard copy. You can mail them through that email address that I showed us the other time. So let me proceed by clicking. So choose your payment method. So these are the available payment method. So depending on the one you have what? This Rave by what? Flutterwave, anyone you want to use. Well, I'm using Paystack. Then I will click on what? Pay now. The moment I click on pay now, then it brings out what? This dialog box. So I want to pay by transfer. I want to pay by transfer. So if I'm paying by transfer, I will just click on transfer. Then this is the account detail. Now I want you guys to watch me. I am paying right away from here. And then from this account, I will now start creating account for each of you that you are going to use for your practice. Now, I'm going to my bank app now. So that is what you do if you want to pay through transfer. So once I've paid, just keep watching the interface. You will see what will happen. So I'll search. You search, if you are using your bank app, search for the this bank name, which is what? Paystack Titan. So search for it from your app. So I've seen it. Then enter the account number. So the account number is 99 78 37 69 58. Then I will confirm it exists. Now I'll type the amount you are doing. You are on your mobile app now as you are doing all this. So the amount, make sure when you are entering the amount, if you enter 10,687 points, let's say you now round it up to 10,700, they will reject it. Type exactly what you see here, please. So I'll type that 10,687. So this might be the reason why some of you are telling me that I'm showing pending. So you go and check your dashboard if you have some amount to what to augment. So 87.82. So once I'm done and transfer, just keep watching the payment gateway. Now you can see, as my app have showed me successfully. Now you see that what automatically they have acknowledged the payment to transfer. And then this unpaid will change to paid. Now they will now send you an email, which I'm going to show us now from my email account for you to know how it's going to look like. That is the reason why I said when you are registering that account, you have to put an active email because the detail will be forwarded. Your back end detail, your cPanel will be forwarded to that email. Now you can see that what they have already confirmed it. So let me go back to my dashboard and see the complete detail. Let me check the comments as somebody. I have a question in case it is time to ask question. Okay, so just reserve your question coming. So I'm going back to my dashboard now to see the update of this transaction we just did. So you can see it is now what? 4 service. Initially it was 3. This is the website we just hosted now. It has not been added here. It has not been added there. Normally it will take like 24 hours before it will show or it will be listed depending on the queue. So if there is no one on the queue, you can get it as soon as possible. But at least you can see that what my dashboard has updated. So maybe probably before we end the class for today or tonight, it will have been shortlisted. But definitely it will be listed here. So I am going to proceed. I am going to create account for some people from my existing URL. So as soon as the other one comes up, then I will create the account and send to us respectively. I believe it will have been added. Let me check. Good. So it's here now. So you can see it. digitech.com.ng. So somebody want to ask question, please ask your question now before we go to the installation of WordPress. Because after this, once you have your domain, before you can think of installing WordPress. So you can unmute yourself and say whatever you want to say.
No, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So I wanted to ask whether if I buy a domain name without hosting, is there any problem?
Yes, big one. Big one. It's just like, how will I put it now? I want to make it practical for you. It's just like you create road that will link people to a place. but you never specify where they are going.
Okay.
I explained that while I was doing my own. You must buy the domain name, which is the address, and then the storage where the content, the domain name, the address is taking them to. I don't know if I've answered your question. So what you will do now is that if maybe because of the costs, because I just noticed that they have increased the cost. What I did now used to be 5,000, or maybe because of the tech that I use. Sometimes your name, if it is a keyword that is on Google search engine, they will rank it very high, and that will also determine the cost. Any other person? Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Hope is not the same.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's
I have
give.
a question.
Okay. Let's give room for someone else to ask. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Then is related to the first person question.
Okay.
Will you, if you did not host it, will you still come back and host it?
Yes. If you did not host it, you go back to this dashboard where you are now. You go back to the
Okay.
dashboard. You go back to the dashboard. You go back to the dashboard. You now come here. Order what? New service. Can you say it? Instead of register a new domain, you click on what? Order a new service. Then they will list out the available service. One of them will be hosting file. Now, because you have hosted the domain name, that place that it asks us use the name in the shopping cart the other time, they will list that one that you have already purchased. So you select it so that they will just add the storage to it. Who else is asking
Noted.
questions? Is it the same person?
Hello, sir. It's not me. Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I did everything you did there, but my old is not showing. You say within 24 hours. Does that mean that within 24 hours you will show, or within the 12 hours? Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm with you. Your own is not showing, right?
Yes, sir. It was showing a paid.
Yeah, if it's showing paid, there is a technical issue. I will have to look at
Okay,
this.
sir.
I will have to look at your own case to know what
Okay.
you did not do right. And if it warrant us mailing them, that is why I told us the other time to capture that email address, this email address. So you can actually send them a mail, register your complaint that you purchase a domain, and this is what you have. You can screenshot it and send it along. They might even give you a call because they are Nigeria based. They are at Yaba in Lagos. So they will call you immediately and ask you to explain. Any other person? Any other person? So that we can proceed to.
I have a question, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Which domain extension is recognized or is kind of like considered? Because I just clicked on one domain.ng, but the price is kind of high. So I don't know which, as a starter, which domain is
okay. As a starter, any domain you are using, let it end with .com.ng. Once it
.com.ng.
Yeah, let there be ng. Once there is ng, they will devalue it. They will devalue it.
Okay.
So I don't want to tell us the main reason why they are devaluing, because we are on the internet. Before the blogger will go and say that I'm demarketing my country. So when you see me physically, I will tell you the reason why you add. If you add .uk now, they will not devalue it. It will go up. If you add .us now, it will go up. But once you add .ng, they will devalue it. You sort out that by yourself why it's like that.
All right.
Any other question? All right. So if there is no question, now we move to the main aspect. The main aspect is this area that I just highlighted. So what we have done now is that we have hosted, and because we have hosted, now we have access to WordPress. Okay. Now, for you to install your WordPress, for those that are taking notes, for you to install your WordPress, what must I do? Number one, you have to what? Host, which we just did now. after you have hosted, you are expected to log in to your URL. You are expected to log into your URL. How do I put it? Your control panel, cPanel. So your control panel is the back end of the website you are hearing. It's just like the administrative part of a website, because like, for example, now, what we are seeing here is the front end of this online platform. Is the front end created for user to come and check who they are, what they can do, and the integrated social media icon that in case you want to go to their Facebook, you click here. You want to go to their Twitter page, you click. If you go down, you get to know more about them. This is the front end. Now, the users have no reason accessing my bedroom. So this is just like your city room, your visitor room, or your visitor, let's call it parlor, the way we normally pronounce it. Now, for them to access your bedroom, they need a permission. And that is the reason why, how do I get to the back end? It's very simple. The URL of that website, right now, they will have sent us an email. They will have sent us an email. So once you complete the purchase we just did now, how am I expected to get my backend detail? You log into the email you supply. Now I am going to my email now and show us what they sent to us. So next time we want to go to the back end, we don't have to go through the account. Or peradventure, I forget my password to go to the back end, I can also connect to the back end by coming here and selecting what? Manage, which is a long process. Now, let me quickly go to my email and show us their reply concerning what we just did. So I'm logging into my email, the email I use in registering that account. Now, this is, can you see it? This is their message, your domain this. Now, I am going to look for hosting file. So if they have not given you your hosting file, it means that they have not 100% acknowledged it. So you have to wait. Probably before tomorrow morning, they will have given you your hosting detail, just for you to know how it look like. Since we don't have it, let me search here and say Digitech or hosting detail for Digitech, so that you see how that email will come. Now, these are receipts of my payment, but where we are going to is this. So this is how you are going to see it, hosting detail. Instead of that text, your hosting domain name, you will see this. So once you see hosting detail for the address, now what is going to show probably by tomorrow, I will show us tomorrow. By tomorrow, that domain will have been ready, if it's not ready before the end of this class. But how do I know where my cPanel, the information I will use to access the WordPress, where are they wrapped in? Is the email that carries hosting detail. So once I click on this now, then I'll click on show trim content, just to show you this is how it's going to come. So you can see it now. They will give you your username to log into the back end. They will give you what? Your password. So this password, I have changed it because it's long. So at the end of the day, you can change, you can reset it. But this username cannot be changed. Now, once you have received this, how do you get to your back end? This is the code. You have to type the website address, the /cPanel, which means that you are going to the back end. Why, if the user want to see your content, they are not going to add the cPanel. They will stop at all right, I'm back. Now, once you have received this information, the advice I will give to you is that you copy it so that you don't have to be coming to your mail. Take everything you have there, Now, open maybe Microsoft Word. Open Microsoft Word. Open Microsoft Word or maybe any other text editor like Notepad and save it there. So paste, Control V to paste it. Then you will now go to File and save it somewhere. So that when next you want to go to your back end, this is what you will do. You don't have to log into that your account. Just open a browser like this and type that URL, www, like this, then /cpanel. Then once you click here, you will see that it will direct you to another interface like this. So we are on our way going to where we can access WordPress after you have completed your account registration and your domain purchase. Now, like I told us, you go to Microsoft Word where you store this information, copy this. This information are sensitive information. You must not show it to anyone. The reason why I show you now, because I have changed this password. So even if you try with this password, it will not enter. So you are not supposed to share this information with anybody. Now, once you get here, this one cannot be changed. Then you put that password. Supposing you have not reset it, you copy that one, or once you put this, you click on reset. It will now ask you for an email where it's going to send the link where you can complete the reset, which should be your email. Then you now log into your email, you complete the process there, and then it will now ask you to enter your new password. But mind you, the username cannot change. Now, I will now type in my password. The password, don't bother knowing it. It's none of your business. Now, once I click login, these people should not allow me to show them my password. Okay. Good. Now, log in successfully. So this is the back end. So I can actually save my password in the browser so that when next I'm coming in, once it redirects me to that cPanel, I will just click on login. Now, from here, this is the main back end of websites you are hearing. So every website that is running on the internet has this back end. So all the transaction, all the products you are buying on Jumia, they can always come to their back end and get the details. So now the back end is segmented into sections. We have tools where you have all this. We have email. We are coming back to that later. But now we are going to software section. This is file where you can see the folder where this particular website is running. Now, you go down to software. This is your database. You scroll down to where you can see software. So you can see WordPress. Then you now click on Manage WordPress. So let me go back to the email and check whether the hosting detail for the one we just registered is out. So if it's out, then I can create our account there. If it is not out, then I have to create some account for some people today through that my own. And then when this one comes out tomorrow, we create for order. So we don't have it here. So let's click here whether they add it. You can see that this one does not carry the user information that we talk about. So they have not given it to us yet. So let's see, proceed with this. Now, this is the WordPress. So this particular website that is running was built with WordPress. Everything you are seeing here was built, which means that at the end of the day, you are going to come up with something like this. I did not write simple code to put the whole of this website together. Everything was built from this package you register for. So at the end of the day, every one of you, we create a portfolio. For those of us that does not have business, you will create a portfolio website describing yourself where you can be uploading all your work done. And for those of us that have business already, your project is going to be you build a website for that business so that at the end of the day, you can get value for what you paid for. So now let me go back here. So I have an account here already created. So there are two accounts running. There are two WordPress websites. So I want to delete this very one. I want to delete it so that I can start creating for us. Now, to delete any account, you come to this section here. You can see all installation. So you click here, and that will release those two accounts. The reason why I have to go for all installation so that I can see this recycle bin, which represents remove. So I am removing this. I will just click here and then select remove installation. Now remember, we are about to learn how to install now. In case you have installed and you want to remove, you follow this step because you might mistakenly install an account and then you might think of removing it. So that is how to remove it, because here there is no delete button. So you have to go towards to this to view all the installation where you can see this icon attached before you proceed. So I will just click on WordPress here to take me back to the manager, and then I will click on install. So I will advise you, if you have your writing material, you start writing down your step, because this is actually the reason why I called for this class, because tomorrow I am not going to go through this installation. Tomorrow, whatever template and theme we have installed, we just go straight to modifying it to suit our own content. All right, so I will start by clicking on install. So once I click on install, then it brings me to this interface where I am to configure my installation. So you can see the reason why we took our time to buy a domain name. It's like I have a new message here. Let me refresh. Okay, good, fine. So we now have it now, so you can see what I was saying. So we can actually, let's go and create all these accounts under this. So instead of this, let's go and create all these accounts here. Now, to log in here, to log into the URL, let's go down. So you can see they have given us what? The login detail. So what I'm going to do, I will copy this. And then let me close the one I was working on. Now let me close this. I can always open this. So I'll open a URL, a browser, a new tab, and type www.dgtechie, I think was something like this, dgtechie. Let me go back to the email and get it. Okay, this is the URL. In fact, you can even click on it direct here. You can just right click and open it in a new tab. So it's like it's not yet initialized properly, so that it doesn't waste our time. Let's continue with, hope I've not closed the one I was working with. Now, you cannot change this URL. This is the only place you can change. Here is the folder name, is the directory where it's going to install it in the server file manager. I will show us that later. Now, I am creating account for, let me know those that are here.
So I'm here.
Okay, so let me create for Prince. So Prince, I will ask you you'll be the one to be giving me your details now. So once we are done with Prince, then I'll pick another person. So once I pick you, you give me your details. So I'm just going to create for 5 people here so that by the time this account comes up, I'll create for the rest there. Now, so Prince, for you to see your contents, you are going to be typing www.digitechc.com.ng/WP3. Let me start with 3. Now, this is just like a directory, a folder where the websites will be created into. Now, here is where you choose the version of the WordPress you are installing. By default, it will always select the highest version and it will be automatically updating itself. So you don't need to worry about it. Just make sure that you are not touching this place. Now, you now come. I'm here.
Okay.
Just keep following. I will send you your detail. Now, this is your website address for you to access. Once we are done creating your account, this is the address you are going to be using to access your content. Now, you now come to the site setting. Under the site setting, you specify your site name. So Prince, tell us what kind of site do you want to develop? Give us your company name or your site name. Quickly.
If football official, yes sir. EFB official.
EFB, right?
EFB official, yes sir.
EFB official. You can always change this. Am I correct?
Yes sir.
Okay. Now, what is your website, your business all about? Give us a short description that Google will see and be able to know the kind of business or services you offer. For example, Digitech, a computer training
news.
Football news, have you?
Yes, football news, highlights and updates.
Okay, let's say what? Football news.
Yes, sir. Highlights and updates.
And what? Updates. You can always change this. You can actually change this later from your account in case you want to change your mind. Then you now create your login detail.
Okay.
For you to always go to your WordPress backend to edit your content, like tomorrow now, you will need your admin username login detail, which is different from the backend detail.
Okay.
You will also need your password. So you write in your notes there, your admin username is admin. Let's leave it admin because you can easily remember. Then your admin password, it will be pass. Don't worry, nobody is going to. It will be pass. And then let me just add some value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you are writing down this. Now, when it shows weak, add a special character. Let's say arts. So just quickly copy this. Have you copied this? Your username is admin.
Yes, sir.
Your password is what? Pass. Then you hide it. Okay. Now we move from there. So this is the website root email address. Now, it will now bring you to this place. All these are optional. If you like, you choose them. If you like, you leave them. Like I said, you can always come back to them from your back end. Now here, these are some plugins. We are going to know more about plugins when probably in tomorrow class. So all this you will need them. Make sure that you mark them. Make sure that you also check this very one. You need this file manager so that it can handle all the content we are going to be creating tomorrow. So once you have done that, choose the language you want to use to probably read your website content. and then you go to advanced option, you can expand it and know if there are some important things you can actually do here. So this is your database, because when you are working with WordPress, your database is already created for you. You don't have to create database. So in case you want to know the name of the database, WordPress have already created for you. You click here, the table that is storing the record, that is whatever the users are submitting from the form that we are going to create in this website, the table that will be holding those records, the name is going to be this. But don't bother yourself with this. We will look at that later. Then all these are optional. If you mark anyone here, if you check anyone, it means that what? It is turned off. If it's unchecked, it means that what? It is active. So I would like to disable what? Update notification what? Email. If I don't want it, I will check it. Auto upgrade. I want auto upgrade. If I don't want it, I check it. Auto upgrade WordPress theme. We are going to talk about WordPress theme in a moment. Now, automatic upgrade, do not upgrade. So I will say what? Upgrade to latest version. I'll choose this. And then your backup, leave it at default. And then you choose the email this installation information should be sent to. Then you can choose your conventional email, and then you click on what? Install. So once you click on install, it will ask you whether you want to save it. I will say never, because this is not my account. So I'll come here, so it's installing completely. So congratulations, we just successfully installed the WordPress, but we have not installed our templates. We have only installed the theme. So I'm going to copy the whole of this and send it to David. Let me send it to David. Please, I'm going to unshare for a second, just for security reason. Let me send it to coming up now. Just hold on. David, quickly chat me now on WhatsApp so that I can quickly detect your name. Quickly, just say hi on WhatsApp. Are you hearing me?
Okay, sir.
Do that fast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you dropped the message?
I've done that, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see.
But I think I'm expressing, yeah.
Okay, I've seen it. So I've sent you your detail, the URL, the admin, you know your password, you know your login. Now let's go back to let me share again. All right. Now, there is what we call WordPress theme and template. WordPress theme is like the structure of the house, the website, just like a house without properties inside. So what we have done, we just created the house. Now we want to create content inside the house. Now, it is those content that tomorrow he is going to learn how to modify to his own content. So for you to install the content, you click on this URL. So once I click on this URL, it will redirect me to the content aspect assistant. Good. So it will bring us here. So from here, you click on get started. So from get started, you will now choose the type of website you want to develop. Remember that we have installed the house, the building. Now, what will be inside the house will not depend on you. Depend on the kind of business or the kind of websites you want to build. So if it is a business website, you click on business category. If it is real estate, you click on real estate. If it is website, you click on website. If it is about your portfolio, you look for what? Portfolio here. You click on portfolio. So each of these will give you different what? Templates. So, David, which one do you want us to pick? Your website, does it fall
Yes, sir.
under sport, right? Can I go with sports?
Sports.
So you click on sports.
Yes.
So once you click on sports, then you will now proceed. You will now proceed by clicking on what? Continue. In case you want to go back, maybe make mistake, you can click on what? Previous step. I click on continue. So this is that name that you supply. That is, as soon as we install it, it will automatically bear this name. To customize that website, the content to this name. That is why it's showing the name here. You click on what? Continue. Now, from here, you will not choose all this. Choose the one that pertains to you. If you are going to sell products, if you are going to create online shop where people can visit and see your products and then buy, like this particular, if you come to this site now and you go to courses. So the plan is that there will be recorded courses that people can buy from here. So if I click on what? Add to cart now, it will take me to what? To the payment gateway. So once they pay, then they will now access the download button. So if your website is going to have products, then you are to check this so that it will install the plugin that will allow you to create your product page and also allow you to activate your payment gateway. So will you want people to buy anything from your website, David?
No. No.
Okay, so you leave it, you don't check it. Now, if you are going to work with, or if you are going to probably do what we call email marketing, that is, you are going to collect, you are going to send mail, I bunk SMS, you check it, I think you need this. Then you also need this particular plugin so that it will increase your website, your content visibility on the internet. So that when people are searching for a product, maybe anything that has to do with sports, Google will shortlist your page as one of the places where they can get content. Improve the page speed, the responding time. So all this, you check the one that you need, limits, login attempt, page layout, you need all this. So once you verify that you need them, click on continue. Now you can now see different what? Templates that pertain to only sports that you choose. So these are, David, hope you are looking at these templates. So these are different content. Which one do you want to choose? Because anyone you choose, we are going to learn how.
Yes, I am.
This one, right? Which one should I choose out of these? All these are free templates you can buy. Sorry, you can install.
No, so let's go for the first one. Let's go for the first.
This first one. I'm not hearing you. Are we going for this?
So let's go for the fifth lane. Yes, fifth lane.
Eh? Okay, this one.
Fifth lane.
Okay,
Fifth lane.
so
Yes.
yes. Now you choose the one you want. Once you choose, they will ask you to browse it to check your home page, your About Us page. That is the content you are inheriting inside the house you purchased. So you can just right click here and go to view it in a new tab just to see how it is before you come back to it. So this is the website you are, installing. So you check the footer, check all the information, check how the program, the footer, all the information, then check other pages, check About Us page. You can see all these effects. For those of us that are learning manual, before you can create all these effects, it's only God that know where you will get there. So all this has already been programmed for you. Now you have been able to see what you want to install, the content you want to install. So you go back, since you are okay with it, you simply select import theme contents. Once you click on import theme content, automatically is building the website now. It's added the content to that house. So from your end, you type this now. Pick your phone and type this. You will see this content right in your phone once this installation is completed.
Okay.
So tomorrow we will now learn how you can now start changing it for your own content. so that those information that came with it, how you can remove all of them and substitute them with your own content. Now, fully what? Installed. So if you want to view it now, or you want to go to the WordPress dashboard, which is where we shall be focusing on tomorrow, I will just click here, and then it will now redirect you to your WordPress. So welcome to WordPress. So with this, you have successfully implemented or installed your WordPress theme and templates. So if I want to view the site now, I will just click here, and then it will take me to what? To the site. So this is the website for now. So we are going to install for one more person before we stop. So what we are going to do,
Thank you, sir.
let's check if this is out. I think there was a place. So let me remove this. So who are we installing for now? The next person, the next person.
Aye.
Okay, so let's install. So get ready to give me your detail. So once I've installed for you, you can go. Once I've installed for you, you can go, because the same process we want to repeat now. So for me to install for you, we go back to here, come back to this. So I will just click on what? Return to WordPress management. So I will also view all the installation. Let me know what and what. So you can see this is the one we just installed for David now. So now I will just click on WordPress to take me back to WordPress Manager, and then go to install again. So your own is going to be WP what? 4. So this is going to be your URL. So once I'm through, I will send you the detail as well. So your site name, Mrs. What I have here, I think, Ikosi. What is going to be your site name, quickly?
Kosi Tech.
Okay, I hope, please spell it. Kosi, right?
So please, I have a question.
Okay.
Before I build I'm intending to build NGO websites.
Okay.
We have foundation and I'm intending to build it. You know,
Okay.
you use 8 gig space in this one we are doing.
Okay.
Can I still do it under this one, or I have to do it in a new something?
NGO. You are going to buy another domain. No? You are not going to use this one. I'm only giving you this one
Okay.
to practice.
Let me use this one for my practice.
Yes. Whatever I'm giving to everybody here is for practice. So when you want to implement your real website, you have to go and buy domain on your own.
Okay, but this one now can be my personal site, right?
Yeah, this one can be your personal site. This one cannot be your personal. This one is just for the practice purpose.
Okay. Let me not use the name I want to use now.
Cool. Don't use the real name you want to use. Just use any other name just for practice. When you now host that one, then you use that one direct.
Okay.
Okay, so what should I use? I can just use Kosi for now, because you can always change it later. Tomorrow I will show us how to change all this information in case you want to change. So let me just go with it. What is your website all about, because of time?
About tech.
Okay, so let me just type technology. Tomorrow I will still show you how you can change all this. So your username, your login detail is going to be what? Admin, then your password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at. Make sure you write it down somewhere. Have you written it? Pass.
Yes,
1,
I snapped it.
Okay, good. Now your email, I don't want to waste time, because I still want to see if I can install for 2 other people that will be ready to stay longer. Then you extend it also. All these I've walked through defaults. Then I will install. So the same process that we have gone through, we are following again. So scroll up. All right. So I'm sending, please just quickly chat me on WhatsApp now. Let me drop this there.
Okay.
So please, for a second, let me just unshare and drop this. I think I should have your details. Okay.
Done.
Okay, so I've already forwarded. Make sure you keep those information intact. Okay, so all right. So here, so now remember, for us to install the content, I'll click on this URL again to take us to that assistant interface where we can choose the category of. So we are here now. Get started. So what type of website do you want to build, man? Portfolio?
Portfolio, yes.
Good. So I'll choose portfolio category, and then I'll click on, all this might stop disturbing me. Click on continue. Then this is the name, continue. Are you going to be selling products? No products.
No product, just to.
The portfolio website should not have products. You shouldn't be selling. You are only advertising yourself. So you click on what? Then these are the templates, ma. These are the templates you can use. Maybe this can be your picture by tomorrow. You are going to be learning how to change all this information to your own. So you have only 3 templates under portfolio. Which one are you choosing, ma?
Let me use the first one.
Okay, so I click, and then I don't want to waste my time checking it. So I will just click on import theme and content. So it's installing. So you can check it right away there. So once we are done for her now, let's do for one more person. Let me keep doing in. Let me see. Okay, this is still to 10. So I will still be here till, let's say, 10, 15. So I think I should be able to do for
me.
3 more people.
Me.
Okay. That is young investor. Okay. Let's wait for her all to end. Let me end this recording because so I doesn't get, because we have touched almost everything.